resources. Thank you.
Let's take Charles Chevelle.
Thank you, Mr Chairman. Mr Chairman, I just want to respond to some of the comments that were made by the previous speaker, because a lot of what she said was absolutely right. But there's a misconception or a falseness woven through the debate, and it's this: that the Serious Fraud Office has already got production and examination powers, so it's all right for them to keep those powers, and it's all right for us to give those to the police and other enforcement agencies. And what Jackie Blue just said was, it's all right because of all the safeguards that are in the bill. The problem with that argument is that the Serious Fraud Office continues right outside the parameters of this legislation, and it doesn't have any of the safeguards that are being put in place for the other agencies. Now, I agree that the Minister's done a good job. She knows that. I've told her that, and I've said it publicly, in terms of putting better safeguards through the SOP than were there in the past. And she knows that I think that's a forward step, and I'm pleased that we are where we are with that. But before I come to just explain why it's fallacious to pursue the argument that the member did, I do want to respond to another point that she made, and that is to somehow be critical that we are where we are, and yet the Labour Party, as the major opposition party, remains and retains its objection to the legislation because of its failure to deal with the SFO. This is an objection that has been known and on the record now for more than a year. And it's been the subject of an attempt, from our point of view, to try to resolve the matter in good faith. We tried with the Minister's predecessor, and we were stonewalled. So, notwithstanding the progress that the Minister and I have managed to make on a host of issues, it does not, the responsibility for the fact that we are now at the threshold and still cannot agree does not lie with the Labour Party, and that is an important point to put on the record. Now, I just want to explain once and for all, I hope, why it is not accurate to say, oh well, the SFO's already got these powers and the bill puts safeguards in place so everything's all right. Because, as I said before, the safeguards don't apply to the SFO, and we've already heard from David Parker that there is concern, real concern, about the way in which the SFO has used its powers in the past, particularly in respect of the media. And Mrs Tolley can smile and scoff all she likes, but that is the case, and we are serious about making sure that the media can do its job in this country. This is a government which has presided over declining media freedoms, 13th now, whereas we were 8th the year before. So she sat on the Treasury benches in senior ministerial positions while that's happened. This is our opportunity as a House of Representatives to fix the matter, and I would have thought we might have actually had a bit more good faith debate across the House in the sort of spirit that I've tried to have with the Minister. Now, here are the powers that the Serious Fraud Office has got now, and that it will keep, because we're not dealing with the Serious Fraud Office powers in this legislation. Under Section 5, the Director may write to any person, and at the time specified by the place in the notice that the Director writes, require that person to produce for inspection any documents which are specified in the notice and which the Director has reason to believe may be relevant to any suspected case of serious or complex fraud, and to answer, to the best of that person's knowledge and belief, questions with respect to the whereabouts or existence of any further documents that may be relevant to the investigation. So here we are, the only example that we're going to have, assuming this bill passes, in our law and on our statute book, of an official, an appointed official, accountable politically to no one, able to write to anybody and say, you must appear at my office at 2 o'clock tomorrow and you must produce the following documents. Nothing anybody can do about it. That has to happen. Now, and there's no way to meaningfully object to that, and there are no safeguards around it in the way that there will be when this bill, if it becomes law, is enacted. And Section 9 goes even further. It actually does away with the right to silence when it comes, Mr. Chairman. Mr. Chairman.
I call the honourable member Dennis O'Rourke.
Chairman, New Zealand First still